The legislature coming to a close on Monday means that plenty of new bills will go into effect within the next few months, and many of them are stirring controversy. We've been covering some of these hot button bills, and 5 of those bills have now passed the legislature and have been signed or will be signed by Governor Jim Pillen. Local 4's Ian Mason has been tracking the legislature closely and filed this report.
The Nebraska legislature's 2025 session wrapped up on Monday, and they heard their fair share of controversial bills this session, and a few were passed and signed by the governor. The theme of these bills was protection. Protection of children, protection of consumers, and protection of businesses. We'll start off with protection of children. Perhaps the most controversial bill to be passed this session is the Stand With Women Act. The main purpose of this law is to make sure that biological males don't compete in women's sports. Governor Pillen requested this bill, and it barely overcame a filibuster with the required 33 votes and no more.
Standing up for this, it was never out of my own personal interests. I have 1 year left of playing. I was always thinking about the younger athletes, the athletes who haven't even started their careers yet.
The bill also defines the terms male and female, which some advocacy groups are against, saying that in the entire state, less than 10 people applied under a program to allow them to play a sport as the opposite sex, and that this bill is really a discriminatory tool to exclude people.
This is a bill seeking a solution to a problem that doesn't really exist. We expect our senators to be at the legislature working on issues that impact the majority of Nebraskans, people, and families.
Senator Kathleen Kauth, who introduced this bill, said she plans to extend it to bathrooms and locker rooms next session. Another bill passed to protect children is the Parental Rights in Social Media Act, which adds stricter controls to social media, as well as prevents AI-generated child pornography. This bill places strict limits on social media accounts and how youth can use social media, as well as giving parents a lot more control over their children's accounts. Many senators supported this legislation, but others worried that it would be challenged in the courts and end up costing taxpayer money.
We do have a compelling interest to protect people, to provide guardrails where we believe it's necessary for the health and well-being of our citizens.
I think it's our job as legislators to ensure that we're not passing unconstitutional legislation. I think that that's a waste of taxpayer money just to pass bills that we ultimately know are going to take up the court's time.
In a similar vein, the age-appropriate online design code was passed, and this bill would regulate how apps use algorithms, as well as design features to keep people engaged on the app. This would moderate features like infinite scroll, push notifications, in-app purchases, and appearance-altering filters. The hope is that this will help kids become less addicted to social media, but many fear the legality of it too. The legislature also looking to protect consumers from lab-grown meat, with 38 senators voting in favor of banning the substance in the state of Nebraska. There was debate on whether or not it should just be labeled as such, but senators decided to completely ban it. Another theme of this session was legislators modifying voter-passed initiatives. From medical marijuana to minimum wage and paid sick leave, many new laws passed by voters came into question. The only bill that made it completely through the legislature was changes to paid sick leave. Under the new law, employees under 16 years old will not be required to receive paid sick leave. Neither will temporary agricultural workers, contractors, or people who work at businesses with less than 10 people.
And the theme that we saw this year was constantly walking back the voice of the people. Whether we're talking about minimum wage or paid sick leave or medical cannabis, we saw a number of bills this year that I think flew in the face of what the voters wanted.
So there's still more work to do in January, but I think the last 6 months we did a lot of good work with the budgetary deficit we were dealt, trying to cut spending, trying to tighten our belts, just as Nebraska families do in their own household.
Reporting in Hastings, Ian Mason, Local 4 News.
For articles breaking down all of those bills, look for the deep dive articles on our news app.